Hey, you guys, welcome to day one of the masterclass. The first day is all about food because I'm a big believer that the biggest thing that's going to move the needle for you in whatever your health journey is the food that you're eating. And nearly every diet agrees that we shouldn't be eating processed food, artificial colors, artificial flavors, none of the nonsense. And so this first day, I basically put together a guide for you guys to help you sort of weed out just those things that really no one should be eating. I'm a big believer in that your body's default programming is to heal itself, right? So you cut yourself, you break a bone, you get injured. It's inherent in your programming for your body to repair itself. And so if you're struggling with whatever health issue, if you're not giving your body the nutrients and the resources that it needs, how can it have what it needs to make you better, essentially? And so in today's handout, what I have is, the artificial colors, the flavors, the kinds of products where you'll find those. So I know so many people get caught up in the nutrition facts. And while they kind of serve as a guide, they don't tell the whole story. Like, you need to get clear on the ingredients and what they are. And, if you're reading this big ingredient list and you're not sure what things are, one, you can always pull out your phone. You have the World Wide Web in your pocket for most of us. And so you can look and kind of start researching, like, what is this? Like, why is it in there? It's also very insightful. A lot of times food companies will add like 5 or 6 different kinds of sugar to a product. But because they have different names, they don't have to list sugar as the primary ingredient. And so you pick it up and you start reading the ingredients and, you're like nuts or oats or whatever. And then if you keep reading, you'll see like, oh, sugar, 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 sugar. They'll say like, oh, rice syrup or, date paste or maltodextrin. They use all those other names so that they don't have to say like really what this box is a big pile of sugar. So it's one of the tricky ways they kind of get you to buy things and make you think they're healthier than they actually are. I've also included, add more of the good stuff. Food should be able to spoil, right? Because if it supports bacterial life, microbial life, then it will support you. I understand like why we have shelf stable things, but at the same time, those foods, they don't have as many nutrients as say like fresh fruits or vegetables or animal protein, things like that. So focus on adding more of those things in, because you'll see that as you focus on adding more color or adding more, like quality protein, you'll see that you're not so focused on what am I missing, because, it's almost like you're sort of squeezing out the bad stuff by focusing on adding the good stuff. And so it's kind of like a little, I know for a lot of people, like making like a permanent lifestyle change is more, they're more worried about what they're going to be missing. And I'm very much on team, like focus on all the things that you do enjoy. Focus on all the things that you can add or eat more of. Because what those end up doing is they end up pushing the other stuff out of the way. Because, we all know you can only eat so much in a day, right? So the more you focus on the good stuff and just cut out the nonsense, and what the nonsense is, it's the stuff that everybody tells you, like, don't eat that. And I get it. You go into a supermarket or you go on a road trip, you go into like a little gas station convenience store, what's in there? Most of it is, I'd say 99% of it is just nonsense. It's made to be able to sit on that shelf for a very long time, which isn't necessarily a good thing. If you're looking at in terms of health. So anyways, that's where I wanted to get you guys started with, I know a lot of people, they may want to go paleo, primo, keto, whatever, and they're not sure where to begin. I am very much an advocate for, people who want to go gradually, because a lot of people can't do like the 180 switch, you know, from the traditional industrial diet to, you know, something kind of, it's kind of drastic in a way, in that, you know, paleo is naturally lower in carbohydrates than your traditional industrial diet because we don't eat grains. And so what happens for most people is they get a carb flu. It's not necessarily a flu, if you will. You just sort of feels flu-ish, because basically what you'll be doing is you're taking your body's primary fuel source. So like if you're living in America or another industrialized country and you're on this grain-based diet, you know, 2 slices of wheat bread raises your blood sugar more than a Snickers bar. And so your body has been wired to kind of be very carbohydrate dependent. And so like you may find like you have to eat every couple hours, because every time that blood glucose starts to dip, it's going to trigger the hunger response. And so that's why a lot of these companies add sugar to a lot of their products, is because they know it's going to make you hungry, it's going to make you eat more, they're going to sell more. So it's a racket. Anyways, especially like if you're taking medications, you know, this is definitely something where you kind of want to ease into it, because when you eat a lot of carbohydrates, your body releases insulin. And insulin is sort of, it's like the master hormone. And so when you start changing how much that is, or how much there is, you start affecting other systems of the body. And so, you know, that's why, you know, it helps to kind of go gradually. Definitely work with your doctor, you know, if you're really going to go paleo primal, just because that would likely change the prescriptions you're on, the quantity you'll need. It's sort of a process. The other thing I was saying, I kind of got sidetracked there, is, you know, when you're reducing the carb flow thing, when you're reducing the number of carbohydrates, like you may feel tired, moody, you know, you guys all know what hangry is. You know, you may be achy, things like that. And it's really just because you're asking your body to remember how to use protein and fat for fuel, which it can do. That's, you know, actually like our body's preferred fuel source is protein, fat, and ketones. And so as your body's sort of ramping up those processes, that's sort of where like the flu, if you will, comes in. And how long it lasts really just depends on the person, you know. I mean, there's things you can do, you know, to kind of help mitigate that, which is some of the things I teach in my membership area, is kind of help you like get over that hump, you know, as gracefully as you can. Because I don't know many people who are motivated by the suck, honestly. You know, like I want you to enjoy the process and, you know, kind of put you on a path to finding your best version of health. You know, like I can't say for everybody like what that's going to be or what that's going to look like. I can say, you know, in the people that I've helped, I have helped them find better health just through food, lifestyle, you know, just basically dialing in the basics. You know, we always make it so complicated, like, well, I need to have like this special pill, or I need to have this special plan. And really, it's just getting back to the basics, you know, real food, good sleep, you know, sensible exercise, which we'll talk about coming up. So other than that, if you have questions, please reach out. You know, you can reply to this email. You can join me in the Facebook group. You can check out the members area. So any of those, I do weekly, you know, Q&A calls with the members, where like I answer your questions, you know, like what's going on, what are you struggling with, what do you need help with, you know. And I will just admit, like, I don't know everything, you know, but I'm willing to go research it for you. I used to teach anatomy and physiology, and, you know, I can at least read the sciencey stuff and say, okay, this is what they're saying. You know, I can help you ask your doctor better questions, or, you know, my doctor says this, and, you know, I can say, well, here's some research, you know, take this to them and see what they say, which that's a whole other topic. So I won't get into that right now. Anyways, I just wanted to say thanks for being here, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. All right.